So, sorry for the slight delay in starting. OBS was being difficult. But nonetheless, we are here and welcome to the world of Earth. I'm just going to ask all of my players if you can mute your mics for me if you're not speaking because I'm getting a really weird reverb on the audio and the tech problems some of us are having tonight. Let's just try and keep things as easy as possible. So, it's one of those nights where if one of us doesn't drop by the end of the stream, it'll be a good stream. So anyway, right. Hello all, my name is Neil, my pronouns are he, him. I am the creator of Fey Earth, an indie TTRPG set in a 19th century Earth where all the creatures from folklore and fairy tale are real, have always been real, and live alongside humanity. Our game is set in the year 1872. Our players are currently in Paris having a really fun, relaxing time, socializing, going to bourgeois balls, and caring about nothing, living their best Bridgerton, well, post Regency Bridgerton lives. So, on that delightfully friendly and upbeat note, who would like to give me a recap of our last session? And let's think, considering what's going to happen tonight, who needs the D8 most?
I think I need the DA the most. So last game we went to the fanciest hotel that most of us have ever seen. Um, we had some of the party introduced to elevators for the first time, and that was engineering marvel, which was very hard to believe that it wasn't magic. In fact, Justine tried to cast the spell, tried to cast detect magic on the elevator, and we all were able to get some rest. We were put up in very cozy rooms thanks to Madame G. Obviously, we had Gwen with Madame G, Annalise and Sylvia, and Aminata and Yastin, and they had a bit of a heart-to-heart in which Aminata was quite beside themselves with just this whole situation. They don't like to be the cause of drama, so this has been a very interesting experience. Aminata did the thing that you do not ever suggest anyone ever does in this sort of situation. They reached out to the Baron, um, and yeah, they want to protect their friends, but they genuinely are not sure how they will be able to do so against someone who could take on one of the strongest allies they've had to date, Madame G, and almost kill both herself and Gwyn. So yeah, they hatched a plan in which Amanada will act as bait to draw the Baron out and go from there. Oh, Sylvia went back to the forest, the Sean. Oh God,
Truncate.
thank you. The Tronque Forest spoke to the Lady of the Woods, and she gave Sylvia a nice sun grenade, which will definitely come in handy, and also some tea on these sort of creatures. So Madame's father, no, well, the lady's father had actually battled a vampire in the past and killed that one, but which kind of brings to question like how many of these creatures are just kind of like roaming around. But yes, emotions are very up in the air, um, and that's where we are.
Okay, right. So I can't remember when you sent the message to the Baron via messenger pen. Um, was I can't remember what time of the day that was. I think I felt it was during the daytime.
It was during the daytime,
Yeah,
so it was shortly after breakfast
yeah,
because
yeah,
Gwen
yeah.
wanted to go lie down, and Sylvia wanted to head off and be back by
Mm,
while it was still light. Yastine went to Stravon with Madame
yeah, cool,
G,
cool, 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 cool,
and
cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I thought I was confirming. So that evening after the
We've
sun,
been put back. We've been put back in Gwen's. We were sent back to Gwen's room.
yeah, you were
yeah,
transported to
instantly.
yeah, yeah. Now it was like it was later, so like as I said, it took just was it 5.5 hours for you to fly to the
Lie there.
Mhm.
Tronquay Forest, and
Hmm.
Yeah.
then and you left at about 10, so it was about 3 ish when you got there. I think maybe 4. I can't remember. Something between 3 and 4 when you
Yeah.
got there. You were there for maybe 45 minutes to an hour, and so it's like 4. It's about 5 ish when you are transported back to Gwyn's room.
Grand.
Okay, but So, Amanada, you did go with Tito to your house to get
Hmm.
some personal belongings.
Yes.
So whatever you wanted to get, you now have on your possession. You do not need to ask me, oh, would I have this? Whatever you want that you already own, you have
Hmm.
in your possession, okay?
Cool.
That's how
Okay.
this works, okay? I am not the kind of GM who says, well, actually, you forgot to say that you put that in your bag, because no. All right? Absolutely not. That's just boring. So, nonetheless, I mean, Justine, when you got back from the Sorbonne, you essentially spend the rest of the day charging the other mana receptacles.
Can I also add
Mm-hmm.
here
Yes.
that after Sorbonne, I went to the market or like to like a shop or something
Mm-hmm.
and bought 6 rings, one gold each.
Okay.
And can I make 6 amulets of protection?
I need to check. I don't know if you'll have time for
Ooh.
that, and also I need to just give me one moment, please. I need to look up the spell descriptions. Um,
It takes 1 hour.
yeah, per amulet.
Yes, so 6 hours.
Yeah, but you spent several hours at the Sorbonne. Okay, and you also want to charge the mana receptacles. I'm gonna say, and this is me being really nice and generous because I'm the best GM in the world, you would have enough time before you go to bed to make 2 amulets of protection. But
Okay.
not enough to make all 6 as well. Basically, if you want to make all 6, you only charge 1 mana receptacle. Actually, no, you wouldn't charge any of the mana receptacles. Which is more important to you?
Yeah, mana receptacle is more important.
Way more important. So because I'm the nicest, bestest, most wonderfulest GM in the world, I'm gonna say you get 2 amulets of protection. Okay? That is Fear of the Arcane, isn't it?
It is.
Cool. My
I think it's only fair that Justine gets one.
So just so we all
'Cause she's
know
squishy.
how the amulet of protection works, okay? So it takes an hour to make and it becomes enchanted, right? So what it does is it gives an additional temporary modifier bonus to the wearer's base defense score, equaling the caster's magic plus intellect, okay? And you can spend a minor action to add some of these points to your defense. So for Justine, who is very, very smart, the smartest person in the party, you just increased your intellect, didn't you? So you have an intellect of 5 and a magic 5. So basically, with this, you have 10 points that you can add to your defense as a minor action, as a reaction to an attack. Now, it's a pool of 10. Once it's spent, that's it, okay? But the spell can be like... the object is not destroyed. It's not. It actually explicitly says it is not destroyed, so you can recharge it and enchant it again. So I'm gonna say you got
Okay.
2.
So during the battle, I can recharge it.
No, it takes an hour.
Okay.
It takes an hour to do it every time. That's how it works. But you can make 2. Who are you gonna give them to?
That's a good question. Well, one I probably leave for myself.
Yes.
In fairness, because I'm absolutely I need it.
I'm gonna say this. Sorry to interrupt you, Justine. I'm gonna say this counts as a consumable magic item, so it doesn't add towards your PowerPoint cap on the number of magic items that you have. Okay.
Who has the lowest grit points?
Who's the squishiest?
After you, I don't know. I feel like it'd possibly be Gwyn or Amanada.
No. Amanada has less than me.
Yeah, it would probably be. Definitely not Sylvia. Sylvia's an absolute tank. And Annalise, I mean, gunslingers are a martial class, so they're D10. So Annalise also has a nice chunk of grit points. So I would say after you, Justine, the second squishiest in the party would be Amanada.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I was actually about to give it to.
I was gonna suggest giving it to Amanada anyway because they're
now don't forget
to be a target.
Don't forget when Amanada is wearing their ring of invisibility, they do get a bonus to their defense. Where is your goddamn?
Still, it would make sense from the point of view of Justine as well because they're best friends, and she wants to.
Oh yeah.
Also, I think Amanat is going to be the most
I
like
can't hear you, Tendai, for some
on
reason.
the center.
Yeah,
Even
I'm
though you're
just
not muted.
Oh, Tendai, we can't hear you. Can you hear us?
their mic isn't muted. I don't know what's going on. Oy.
No, we still can't hear you.
What about now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Whatever you just
Perfect.
did, you're working again.
Oh, now you're gone.
Now you've gone again.
There you're gone. There you're gone again.
So I think it could be the headset mic
Oh man,
because you have gone again.
because they were there. You all heard, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we heard you when you said, "Can you hear me now?" And then when you started actually talking, it was gone again.
Oh. No. I had tech problems at the start as well. My headphones were freaking out.
Yeah.
I think we're generally plagued today.
Yeah, tonight seems to be
Yeah.
one of those nights.
The Baron's got to the technology.
He's in the wires.
The bastard.
Yeah. Although I will say, when it comes if I have Apple Tech, I turn to Harry Dresden basically. Just technology, Apple Tech just doesn't remind me at all. I'm just like, I don't even know.
Do you have another mic you can use too?
Can you hear us? No.
No.
Audio.
Oh,
You're back,
there you are.
You're back again, but
Say something else.
something else. No, you've
Nope.
got whatever's going on with that mic and its settings, it just keeps dropping. So
Maybe wires, because it kind of keeps appearing at random moments.
yeah.
So it could be like a problem with wires.
Or noise gate, maybe?
What about that?
Oh, yeah, no, there you are.
Can you hear me though? It looks like it's coming through quite low.
We can
No,
hear
I
you.
can hear you.
We can hear you.
We can
Oh,
also
we
hear
can-
each
I
other.
can hear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all. So your mic was picking up, and it's still picking up us. We're getting everything echoed.
If I, what about now?
We can hear you fine, but we're still
But
getting an
we're
echo.
still echoing.
So, if you go to settings, sometimes you can just tweak like audio, where you can put like input and output in different.
Yeah,
So yeah, we can hear you now.
That sounds
you can
good.
hear me now.
Yeah, we can hear you
Yes.
now.
And we
Okay,
don't
that's
hear each other.
And the reverb,
And
the
it's
echo is
and
stopped.
the echo's gone, so I
Good.
think we're okay,
Okay.
now.
So we're good for the next 5
Yay.
minutes anyway. So,
Yeah.
as I was saying, when it gets to nighttime, Amanada, you get a reply on your arcanogram from the Baron.
Ooh.
Okay. Would you like me to read out the letter, or will we just?
Yeah,
say it?
you can read it out.
Okay. So, one moment, please.
Yeah.
I love it's like the little in character kind of drama.
so-
I live for this shit.
Here we go. My dearest Amanata, I am writing you this letter in the hopes of restoring what I felt was a deep and growing affection from you when we first met. As you now know, I am not a mortal man. I am something far older and more powerful. My name is truly Baron Ivan Stratsimir, and I am originally from Bulgaria. but I was born in the year 1358. I was turned into what I am by a strange man who visited my father's court in the year 1385. This man, who called himself Sebastian Stoma, claimed to come from the city of Moscow. It was shortly after I was turned that the Ottomans invaded my country and my family lost their power. My sire was also killed in this invasion. I have traveled across Europe as well as further east for many centuries. During my travels, I have learnt much, including the power of sorcery, from masters in Prague, Athens, and Damascus. But despite all the wonders I have experienced, it has at times been a lonely existence. I have formed many friendships and had other loves, but they all faded to dust as mortality took them from me. When I met you at the ball, I was enthralled by your beauty, wit, intelligence, and vibrant spirit. I could immediately see that you were not like the other bourgeois maidens, looking for a suitable husband from a respectable family. I felt for the first time in nearly 2 centuries I had found someone who might be my equal in a union of hearts and minds. It is for this reason that I have constantly sought you out. I had planned to bring you close to the point of turning, and then reveal myself to you. I would never have turned you without your consent, and I always intended to ask you what you desired. But I also could not let such beauty fade with age and turn to dust. I am sorry I have upset you regarding your friends, but you must understand that when you are as ancient as I, you see the world in a very different way. Immortality allows you to have a greater and more enlightened understanding of the world and what is truly important and must be cherished and protected in your life. Your friends, with their simple minds, limited by their youth, inexperience, and mortality, could not understand what it means to love as one such as I. I would not let them stop me in my plans to offer you the same gift as me. I hope you can understand why I was forced to do as I did, and realize it was not to hurt you, but rather to protect you by being offered the choice you deserve to live forever. I wait anxiously for your response and hope we can talk face to face. Yours, respectfully and with great fondness, Baron Ivan Stratzimir.
I think we can fix it. Like,
Yes, with fire and a stake through the heart.
So, you obviously sent him your reply, which I won't read unless you really want me to. But the Baron does, of course, reply to you saying that he feels that it would be best to discuss things face to face, and asks you to pick a location where you might meet.
Mhm. Yeah, so the response to the Baron was lengthy,
Yeah.
but in terms of where to meet, Aminata is definitely going to come back with where can my safety be guaranteed, because I don't know anything about you. So
Yeah.
I need some knowledge to feel
Um,
comfortable.
he says that he guarantees your safety, regardless of where you meet. But he does say in his reply that he cannot promise the same for your friends if they interfere with his opportunity to discuss his heart's desire with you.
The red flags are just
Like
rounding off
massive.
this
More
guy.
than a communist mariachi band. My God.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
are you feeling like maybe you could change him? Because
No.
that is the dream of every woman, to find that dark, sexy, mysterious, troubled
He's just a
bad
bit of
boy
a fixer.
and,
It is.
and fix him up, you know?
I've
Yeah.
read these books.
Hmm.
Like, I think it would go very much against Aminata's nature to be like, oh, I can fix him. Just literally just be naive about it. But Aminata would definitely not want to put her friends in danger if it can be helped.
Sure.
And
Are you openly telling them all about these letters? Or are you doing this privately in your room?
I think I'm going to keep these letters private
Okay.
for now until Like, if he can guarantee my safety, then I am. Oh, I hope he's
Well,
man of some honor.
he explicitly said that you are safe, but he makes no such promises to your friends. That is what he explicitly said.
Yeah.
I'd love to know his definition of safe, though. I'm just saying. Like,
Well, in his letter, he said that he was
His definition is
he was
vampire.
he had
He's
said
gonna turn you.
in his letter he said he never was going to turn you without your consent.
But
lies
almost
and
killed me still.
lies.
Maybe
Yeah.
you know that Gwyn told you that he had said to her that, you know, if you would not be his bride, your beauty would live on forever in him. So take from that what you will. He had he explicit those were the
Freak
exact
of the
words
week.
that he used with Gwyn.
It's like full on. I love you so much that I want to remove your spine so I can move in there.
Yeah, I want to wear your skin kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh God. Shit.
You need
I'm
But
an
you
author
can
would
fix
want
him.
to would try a diplomatic solution. So I think they would try and see if he will be honest and give a location that he would be at a disadvantage. And if that is the case, they are willing to.
I mean, you had been thinking. Someone had suggested, what about an abandoned
Church.
church?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you
I
do
suggested
know.
that.
Yeah, you do know of an abandoned church. Sorry, the Iglesia San Martin. It's in a kind of a rundown neighborhood. Its nickname is Quarter de Oublié, the Forgotten Quarter. It's kind of like a mixture of dilapidated buildings, some marketplaces, narrow, windy streets, that kind of thing. And this church, it was, as far, you're not sure exactly what happened, but some of the stories say that during the revolution it might have been, it was attacked or ransacked, or the priest was killed or something, but it hasn't been in use for like basically since before the revolution. So that's like what, a century now, basically.
But would it still be consecrated ground?
You don't know, but you don't even know if that whole
If that works anyway.
Christianity hoodoo even works on these creatures. So you know, but it is a location.
Okay. I think Amanada's going to see what he says, and if he seems to be like, "Oh, we can meet at midnight in some shady part," I'll be like, Listen.
If you suggest Iglesia San Martin, his reply is simply with, "I will be there. Tell me what time."
He said he will what?
I'll be there. Tell me what time. But like he does say like, but it must be at night. You know, because he's a vampire.
Well, he's a vampire, so of course,
You know,
Yeah.
he is a vampire.
Someone doesn't have a cool umbrella.
Okay. Fuck it. Yeah, let's do it.
Alright.
Okay.
Yeah, like, dude, what have
Bad
you been doing
idea.
for like past 500
Yeah,
years?
you've had
without getting
500 years to get a cool magic umbrella, and you haven't got one?
So, you guys, what time basically do you tell them you want to meet there at? It's at this stage, it's like about 8 o'clock. Like, the sun's not long down. Like, the sun went down maybe half an hour ago, so we're still in earlier spring kind of period. So it's maybe about 8:45 at this point. So you could say, "Oh, I'll meet you at midnight." That would be totally on brand. But like you picked a time. If you and the rest of the party want to go there, you know, stake it out, pick your spots.
Ooh.
Or
Going
would you
there with the
prefer?
party is super risky.
Sorry,
It is super risky.
What is?
Going with the party would be risky.
Yeah, but going to talk to an ancient vampire completely
By
on
myself.
your own with
So
no
dumb.
backup, that's not in any way the dumbest idea you've ever had.
Jesus, Neil.
What?
No, it is. It is legit the dumbest idea that Amanada has ever had.
I've never
Ever.
seen him again.
Ever had. 500-year-old master sorcery vampire.
My problem with that is, like, how is this like sense of smell?
Pretty good. You
Yeah,
think?
so
You think
people would-
he claimed to know you had strong Fey blood from your scent.
Yeah, so he'd be able to smell our blood, everybody's blood.
Well, you
Because-
don't know. I mean, like, it is a musty, mold-ridden, dilapidated church. You don't know. You don't know.
Okay.
You don't know.
Okay, fine. I will
You know.
I will tell the party about the abandoned church,
Mhm.
and I will say to the Baron I will meet him at midnight.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I approve. I thoroughly approve. And if you tell like the rest of the party, Madame Josephine, and so forth, and Tito has been kind of hanging around the hotel as well, so he's there. Everybody knows. Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, Madame Gautier does like she has to go up to her room for her stuff, you know, and get ready, and she comes down. You all do what you want to get ready, and she comes down at like 11, wearing what looks to be a split riding skirt, black, wide leather belt, leather riding gloves, wearing sorry, not black, sorry, it's a dark red, apologies, and looking fabulous and ready for battle.
I'm just concerned. Gwen, I've spent 24 mana as it is, but I need to heal Gwen a lot.
Well, we can retcon this and say you'll meet him tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that's
Yeah,
totally.
honestly,
Yeah.
one more
tomorrow
night
makes more
with
sense.
Gwen will make a big difference.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We can just retcon it and
okay.
say you say
Okay,
you'll
I
meet him
thought
tomorrow
I
at
was gonna.
midnight. No.
I was gonna roll to heal Gwen now.
Absolutely not. We'll just simply retcon it, and Aminata tells the Baron, "I will meet you tomorrow at midnight." Please.
Yeah, in fairness, I was thinking about the
Yeah.
like if Justine would be able to do all the mana receptacles, the amulets, and all that jazz anyway, so it makes sense
Oh,
to do
cool.
tomorrow.
Okay. No, I
absolutely.
wasn't trying to take. I was gonna just do the healing rolls, but
because
okay.
Justine would be
Alright.
pretty tapped out. No, you say you meet them tomorrow. So we just slight retcon of this all happens the next night, which this means Gwen is fully healed. All of you are, your mana is fully restored. You each have a full mana receptacle. Justine, if you wanted to make some more amulets protection the following day, you could, but that is going to cost you mana.
That's fine. It's a sphere of arcane,
So it costs.
and it would
you.
only
Right.
cost like nothing.
Yeah, I know.
And then I'll have some rest. And sorry to disappoint Neil.
It's okay. Yeah, it costs you 1 mana per amulet.
Yeah. So like what? 4 mana.
4 mana. Yes. Okay. So.
Okay,
you
so
stupid
just
favorite
to
spirit.
confirm, so the next day, or would that day
You
be?
created new. Sorry.
Would
Yeah.
that day be the Thursday then?
Just give me 1 moment. I'm pulling up the calendar.
Not the day of the confrontation, the day that we agreed to meet. Like,
No, it's the Friday. Because the Baron attacked Gwyn and Josephine on the Wednesday. You spent Wednesday night in the hotel, and it was the next day you sent him the message. Was the Thursday, you know, so it's the Friday you're meeting him.
Oh, Sylvia also updates the group on the solar grenade that she
Oh yeah.
now
No,
has.
I assumed that you did that. Okay. So remember, I said it's 3d10 plus 5, and everybody must perform a dex check of 15 or higher, or you are blinded for 1 turn. But it's only 1 turn.
Okay, so we need to come up with a hand signal to get people or something
A
for
safe
people to
word.
shield their eyes.
A safe word.
Safe word. We'll call it a safe word then.
well, something that will not be fucking obvious. Obviously, it can't be like,
Pineapple.
oh, it's daylight. No, it has to
Yeah,
be.
I suggest we don't throw it and shout grenade. Probably going to be a little obvious.
Sylvia, can you make any animal noises that might, like a rat squeak, that like a
Like a
rat would
wood
in an abandoned
pigeon's,
church.
like
Sylvia is
That
just
kind
gonna
of
look at Aminata and very deadpan, like stone face, and just say, "Meow."
Tito is also looking at Amanat and goes, what if as you throw the device you simply shout a word like songbird?
That I believe the Baron would know that something is happening.
Yes, but he's probably going to suspect something is happening if Sylvia is making owl noises as well.
Well, hopefully he's not going to be able to see Sylvia. So, like, if Sylvia can make a
Well,
realistic sounding animal noise.
One would assume that she'll have to be close enough to throw the device at him, so he probably will be able to see her.
Okay, sure.
Okay, Neil, can we say that I also spent a bit of time using my druidcraft and I make a load of pine cones?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We can say
for my grenades.
Not only can we say that, we can say that you precast pixie pines on said pine cones.
How long does that last, actually?
I don't think there's actually a cap on it.
Okay, because I assumed it was.
But it's still your major action to throw them, you know.
What you had said to me was that major action to cast, and I get one throw for free.
It's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
You know, like it's.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's semantics.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, like I'm not going to say, oh, you cast a spell, but you wait till the next turn to throw, because that would be a really stupid spell. But if you've precast a spell, yeah, you just throw it, it's still a major action. Because you're throwing a magical grenade, so that's going to be something that requires concentration and.
But I am going to be throwing grenades at him probably anyway, so how would he know?
Anywho, so we will jump forward to the next
like
slide.
this one is special.
You all travel with Aminata to the church, yes?
On the way to the church, Amanada is going to like say to the party, I know this is a very worrisome situation that we are in, but please do not do anything to initiate any sort of battle until I've at least tried to see if I can make him see some sort of reason.
Aminata, I don't know if you would be able to convince him. If I feel that you are in danger, I am going to step in.
So,
and at the very least, stop him from harming you or anyone else.
If you step in, he will harm you. He has guaranteed as much.
He's going to harm us anyway, let's be honest. Come on now.
I will posit, how obvious are we going to be? Obviously, Aminata, you're going to talk to him. Are we all going to go in as well, or are we going to hide on the Facebook?
This was my question. We're all, I assume, traveling there early so that people can hide and take up positions if they wish.
If we are worried that our mere presence will cause him to, take the non-diplomatic route, perhaps, even seeing us might be alarming.
We should hide and let Aminata do her thing, and hopefully it goes well, and we don't have to face him.
So I will say, if he's a proficient spellcaster, which seems to be the case, I mean, I have some capacity to detect living beings around me. I can only imagine he will have the same. Capacity.
I have the spell as well, and I think that I should cast it as we go in, just to make sure that.
I'm going to say that if you do cast it, you pick up on a lot of living creatures, rats and bats, because it's a dilapidated building. So just to describe the building, okay? It's about 15 meters wide and it's about 40 meters long. High, like it's a church, okay? So it's obviously a very high ceiling. It's like, what? 30 meter, 20 meter, I don't know. It's a pretty high ceiling, okay? There is, you do spot, and you're quite happy to see this, Annalise, that there is, sorry, I was thinking of feet. It's 10 meters high, apologies. Mixing up my imperial and my metric, okay? So, there is on the, like when you go through the rotted, hanging off their hinges double doors, above that, there is a wooden balcony section where there appears to be an organ. Okay, and there's a somewhat rickety-looking stairs, but you reckon you could probably pretty safely get up to that, okay? There's rows of broken pews. At the far end, there is a broken, what are they called, rosette windows? The big round windows, with a broken altar. You're in a fairly, well, not going to say open, but there's a bit of space to the surrounding buildings, you know, a couple of meters of space around the church itself.
Question, how dusty is I assume the floor would be very dusty.
Oh, the place is terrible.
Ah, shit. Okay, so even if I did put on my invisibility ring,
well, no, it's not dusty. It's dirty and it's wet because of the leaky ceiling and so on and so forth.
Okay, so maybe not as obvious.
Yeah.
Grand.
But Annalise has a good point. Sylvia, if you can detect living things in the area, what's to say the Baron won't be able to detect us? How far back should we stay?
Well, don't forget, sorry to interrupt. Don't forget, Gwyn and Sylvia can change into animals.
Yeah, I was gonna like turn into a little bat and.
Gwyn is happy to stay as far away from the psychopath as possible.
I will also posit that my understanding of the magical side of things is a little shonky. It's new to me. It tends to get blocked by sort of solid obstacles. So at least if some of us are behind walls, but obviously if it's a dilapidated building, it might just go around the openings.
I'm saying, in the worst case scenario, if Sylvia can notify us, Madame Justine, Madame Gauthier and I, we could blink everyone in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
right.
So I'm gonna the way I imagine Sylvia cast this spell is basically the way that Toph or her daughter Lim would cast the spell. For anybody familiar with the
spell?
Avatar, Tremor Sense.
Okay.
I'm gonna lift up my foot, stamp it down, and I basically the vibrations, every living thing
that's on
in
the
contact
ground,
that's on the ground is gonna ping back.
So you're picking up on everybody, and all the animals, the rats scurrying around.
I will want to try and detect any sort of traps.
Give me a roll.
Yep.
Good idea.
Okay.
I suppose the important thing is that we ask Aminata, I suppose it's really a question of your comfort. If you want us in there with you, I can't see any reason why we wouldn't, but it's if you would feel safer with us there, that's perfect. Yeah, happy to, but it is about your goals with this, I suppose.
So that was a 25.
Ooh.
You don't detect any traps in the
abandoned
probably
doesn't need traps.
Good first roll.
Yeah. Good start.
For the sake of it, I cast detect magic.
You don't detect any magic. It's an abandoned church.
Just in case.
Yeah, we're all just in casing checks.
Okay. So
listen, I trust this guy about as far as I can throw him.
Right.
Let's be clear.
So let's be clear. Madame Gauthier, Justine are kind of waiting, hiding outside, yes? Yes? Annalise is hiding up on the wooden balcony, getting in position, sniper position, yes?
Well, I would ask Aminata if she wanted me in the building or if she'd want us all out until if something goes wrong, just for sake of caution.
Oh, I'd actually also like to cast Restorative Spark on everybody.
Yeah, sure, cool. You cast Restorative Spark on everybody, okay? So who's got is anybody going to be? Is Sylvia and Gwyn going to be hidden in the church in animal form?
No.
Is Sylvia going to be hidden in the church in the rafters as a bat?
No, I am gonna wait with the others. I'm gonna wait for the signal.
They would Sylvia's gonna from me then.
Sylvia is gonna respect Aminata's wishes on this. She does not like it. She is really like unhappy and pretty pissed off, but she is waiting outside and respecting Amanada's wishes on this.
All right.
Well, Gwen is going to give Aminata a big hug before she goes in and press the amulet of fortune into her hand, just in case you need it, and
Thank you.
say good luck.
Right. So then, Amanada, you go in. You wait. Everybody else is hidden outside. Faintly off in the distance, you do hear the sounds of a church clock tower chiming midnight. And as that happens, you hear a sound up above you, and at the other end of the church, you see flying in through the rosette window, the broken window, the a bat, sorry, which lands in front of the altar, and then and actually, sorry, a bat and a raven as well. The raven perches up on a
Excuse me?
rafter, and the bat transforms into the Baron.
Aminata is going to like kind of take a step back and say, I did not expect you to need company.
The Baron simply looks at us. I am sure you did not come alone.
It would be stupid of me to do so. And I think you said that was something you appreciated about me, my intelligence.
Mm-hmm. I do.
So tell me about you. I need to know before I make any sort of decisions.
I told you in my letter.
But you never addressed any of the questions I had about, you were draining me of my life force without my permission.
When you got close to the end, I would have revealed the truth to you and given you the option to be turned or not.
And if I chose not to, you would have let me die, no?
I would have been saddened that you
But you
chose
would have
not
let
to.
me die.
Yours is a beauty I cannot let be lost from the world. And if you would not live on with me, you would live on in me.
Yet that is quite the proposition, I suppose, that it's either I die at your hand or I die and live at your hand.
When you have lived as long as I, you gain a better understanding for the value, the true value of life, and also the order of the things that live on this earth, the hierarchy of life.
Aminata is just going to kind of stick up their chin a little bit and kind of put their hands over their stomach because they are feeling a bit nauseous, and say, so if I were to join you, you would expect me to prey on others like you do?
It is no different to eating a lamb or a calf or a horse.
That is very true, but that is what you would expect of your bride, no?
Well, you would have no choice if you wish to live. You would need sustenance like any creature.
And is it possible to get that from sustenance from animals rather than people, no?
No.
And I assume you have tried?
It does not, no. And he looks with this kind of revolted look on his face.
So I assume that is what befell your other loves.
Some just did. Some I was not able to turn and they would die of old age. Some were quite powerful in their own way and And so
And so
I
you
did.
killed them.
No, I simply was not given the opportunity to turn them.
Okay. And if I decided to join you, and then if whatever affections you believed you had for me fade with time, what would happen to me then? Would you dispose of me? Would you allow me to live my life as I see fit?
If such a thing did happen, though I do not believe it would, we would part ways and perhaps in a few centuries reconnect, rekindle our love.
And you have lived many centuries and you've never once felt boredom, no?
Yes, sometimes. That is why I've traveled so much. That is why I've learned so much.
But you have never grown bored of people that you have loved.
No. But it depends on the type of love. A love like that I have for you is quite rare. Most of the mortals who I would develop affections for, it would be similar to that you might have for a dog or a similar pet, a lesser animal.
Oh, oh, okay. I suppose that should flatter me. That is quite the statement.
And this is the thing, when he's saying that, he's not saying it in any apologetic way. He's
Yeah,
saying
he's
it
just being
so
brutally honest.
matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, okay. So you claim that the love you feel for me is deeper than that someone would have for a beloved pet? Do you even know what love is anymore?
Of course I do. I know it better than most mortals.
Really? Because in my world, love means not hurting someone you care for.
That is interesting because I have lived on this earth many centuries and seen many a man who claims to love his wife and commits great pain and suffering to her every day.
That is very true,
And those they also live in your world.
but it is different to take another to your wedded bed, to maybe even, God forbid, strike them physically, but it is very different to rip them from the life that they love themselves just so you can have something that you crave to own and possess.
Every day women marry men and leave their families and become part of their husbands' families. Every day. Especially women of your class.
But my family do not operate like that. My family have always been quite close. You have said you haven't traveled to Africa, and things are quite different there. And if I were to wed and become somebody's bride, my family would still very much be an integral part of my life.
Well,
My friends as well.
if you became my bride, you would be, if anything, giving a gift to your mother, who is Fae, and as it is, must live with the knowledge that she will see her beloved child grow old and die before her eyes. If you were my bride, that would not happen.
I somehow think my mother would not be. Yes, to a degree, she would probably find some solace in that fact, but I still believe that it would be such a very hard thing for her to accept that I am this different entity altogether. Would I still be
You would still be
part
you.
same?
Well, oh, no, you would be different. You would be
So,
like me.
so your blood would completely
Your,
change me from the
your
inside out.
the powers that you have from your Fey blood would be replaced by the powers that you would get from my gift. But you, the person that you are, would still be the same. Your personality would not change. Simply your abilities.
So your personality has always been this way.
Yes, of course. I'm an
Oh,
ancient noble.
spoken with the arrogance of a baron. This is quite. This is naturally difficult for me to accept. I know that if I say no, you will harm those I love, and I, you, you know that that is something that I cannot do. You have seen me clearly enough to, I assume, be counting on that.
He kind of is a bit confused, looking like, is this a question or what?
If I say no to you, would you leave Paris?
Why would I leave Paris?
Well, you did say you love to travel. Many a jilted lover has fled from places in which they were scorned. Or would you stay and feed on my people?
Well, I need to gain my sustenance the same as any living creature. If I'm in Paris, my sustenance must come from Paris.
And do you kill every time that you feed?
It depends.
Is it necessary to kill every time that you feed?
In truth, it you in order to gain enough sustenance when feeding, usually you must take all.
But you could space your feedings amongst different people, no? So you don't kill. You're making the choice to.
If you were to skip one meal every day, how long would you last?
Oh, I'm not talking about skipping meals. I
That's
know.
what you are talking about.
Well, no, it is not skipping meals. It is simply dividing that meal amongst different different people, rather than taking the life of one just to feel satiated. I don't know if I could kill the way you do. It would. That is not the person that I am. And you said my personality would not change, no?
No, you would still be the same person you are, but you would gain a deeper understanding of your place in the web of life.
And if I did not subscribe to your ideology of our place in this web of life,
I have never met one of my kind who has not.
and are there many?
I could not say.
Oh, you.
We are rare, but it is not like we know each other's location.
Oh, that is true.
Like how many dryads are there? How many elves are there? How many humans are there?
Well, that is true. There's millions of humans. Well, that is beside the point. If I were to say yes to protect my people, I would need to feed on multiple to sustain myself. And even the thought of that is making my stomach roll. And I am not one of these fanciful ladies with their sniffing salts. I do not sicken easily. This is a lot to process. And when would you need a response?
Well, tonight, of course.
Tonight?
That is why we have met, is it not?
Well, we met, so we could
discuss face to face, and now we discuss.
That was not what was implied by our meeting. I asked questions, and you said it would be better to discuss those questions in person.
Yes, and now we are discussing, and I look forward to my answer.
It is quite unusual for such a quick and rash decision to be made, no?
I would,
Well,
no, women every day accept offers of marriage, and quite
women
often with very little thought.
women
And
every day, yes, they do.
and rarely are they offered marriage by one who can give you the gifts that I can give you. So you truly are quite fortunate.
Well, I must be so honored that you are gifting me with such a wonderful opportunity. You said that when you met me, you became enthralled with my wit and my intelligence, and that I was not like any of these other bourgeois court maidens. Did you not? So
Yes,
what would make you think that I would make such a rash decision, like those other court maidens? Why would you expect me to just fall to my knees and expose my neck to you?
because you are mortal. Your time on this earth is limited.
It is limited, but Baron, I am fortunate enough to come from an affluent enough family that I can look after my health, that I am able to eat. I am loved dearly, and
And
that's,
with me, you can be loved forever.
well, as a mortal forever would mean until the time that I die, and I do not believe for 1 second that I would end up living a loveless life. I would have, like you said, I would have my my mare. She would stay with me for as long as it took, and I know it would break her heart, and that is something that I would never want to do to her, especially after, the prospect of losing my father. And
Well, if you accept my hand, then you will
oh,
outlive.
you're going to say I can turn him as well, and I might as
No,
well turn my friends.
I was going to say you will outlive your mother.
So I would be forced, like you have been, to watch those I love die. And you think that your love alone could sustain me.
Well, yes, now you understand.
But I have no idea what you thought you saw in me to think that I would just jump at such an opportunity. Yes, oh, do not get me wrong. It is amazing, and my heart is incredibly curious and eager to learn about the life that you have lived. You have lived many, many lifetimes that no one could ever fathom, and to know about this would truly be a miracle to witness. But if you decided that you became bored of me and some other maiden caught your eye, I know
I
you said that it will not happen, but we need to
I
be
have lived
realistic.
I have lived 500 years. I have never met a maiden like you before. It would be at
Oh,
least 500 lot more before the chance would arise again.
well, you did say in your letters that it has been 2 centuries since you last met somebody who you felt you had this connection with. So already you are lying to me.
No, the connection with you is far stronger than any previous connection.
And why should I believe you? You have done nothing really but lie until this point.
No, nothing I have said is false. You simply misunderstand.
Oh, okay. Please enlighten me. What did I misunderstand when you were found clinging to the side of the wall by my bedchamber, feeding off me like
I already explained my actions.
you were killing me in the hopes that I would, in my desperation, latch onto you and accept this gift? But is that not in itself an act of dishonesty? I have always been nothing but frank with you, Baron. You said it was something you appreciated about me, and I expressed the same sentiment, yet you chose not to let me know. And you know I do not make rash decisions. You knew that I would need time to process. This is simply not enough time.
Well, how long would you need?
Well, I need to. I don't know. This is quite an interesting thing. Yes, of course, I have turned down proposals before far less. Um, but this is something I would truly need to think about. I would need to think about what my life would be like going forward, and that could easily take a day. It could take 5. It could take a week. I do not know. I cannot rush it. And if I did rush it, it would be out of my character.
So I must simply wait with absolutely no promise of an answer?
Well, I will be able to inform you of when I have an answer, but
You just
if,
said you do not know if you could, when you would.
well, if I
So,
do have an answer, I will be able to contact you, will I not?
but as you've said, you are saying you do not know how long it would take.
But Ban, like you have said, you have lived 5 centuries. What is another week?
But
I need to,
my point is, you cannot promise it would be simply a week.
well,
How is that fair on me?
oh, fair on you.
You talk of fairness, you talk of honesty, you talk of frankness. I am
Oh,
being
and I'm
frank.
being honest.
I am being frank. You would have me wait with bated breath for your
Uh,
answer that may never come.
oh, I doubt that you will wilt while waiting for a response from me, Baran. Come on, do not be dramatic.
I am being frank and honest.
If we did say a week, I would give you an answer in a week. But in that time, I would need to know that you are not going to attack any of my loved ones again, and I know that you will not promise not to feed on any of the Parisians because, as you said,
It is
there
a
is a rightful order to this web. But if you can guarantee me that you will not attack any of my friends and any of their loved ones, and you would give me the space in which I need to ruminate and to think about this, because it is not an easy decision. And if you do think it's an easy decision, then you do not know me as well as you think you do.
give me a charm roll. Persuasion.
Okie dokie. This is my jam. Okay. Oh, wait, where's my dice? Okay. Charm, persuasion. Okay. Could I use my conversationalist
Yes, and
skill?
wordsmith.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, so that
Oh,
is
very good.
And you also have like plus D8.
And you have the D8 as well. Don't forget that.
true. Okay, so conversationalist,
And the Emerald of Fortune.
wordsmith. You see that between those two, that's already a +9.
Mm-hmm.
And I already have. So that's +9 +12, 13. So that is a 25. And charm is one of my proficiencies.
What are you talking about?
Oh no, sorry. No. Never mind. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, is that enough though?
I'm not. You tell me. Do you want to use your? Do you want to use your inspiration die?
I know I do get. Um.
The Amulet of Fortune lets you re-roll, and you can choose to
Actually,
take the
with
higher.
the amulet,
It doesn't cancel out the last one.
you also with the Amulet of Fortune can add Gwyn's Resolve to an ability test.
Okay. And Gwyn's Resolve
Is
is...
it 4? I can't remember. Where are we? Oh.
See, load faster.
5.
My resolve is a 5.
So you can add
5, so that would bring me up to 30.
Okay.
I think I will hold on to my D8 for now, but I will definitely insist on you cannot harm any of my friends or any of my loved ones. If I am to give you an answer in a week, I must know that you are reasonable. I never intended on marrying a rash and unreasonable man.
I give you a week. And he changes his form into that of a bat. And he and the raven fly back out through the broken window.
Aminata is going to turn and leave the church and like just kind of really take a deep, like the first deep breath they've taken this entire time. Like their heart is, he definitely heard like some Congo, like drum and bass going on in their heart. And Aminata is going to say, I have a week. Oh. And
when you say this, Tito turns to you. A week for what?
I have a week for my decision. He expected me to answer about his proposal then and there. I
That doesn't sound all that shocking.
No, it is not, unfortunately, but I could not just...
But
could
you
not
are
just
not
say-
going to decide to join him. Why are you... Why
If I do not join him, he said he will kill you.
Okay, and in a week he will kill us, so why
That
did
is
you say
exactly what happens now. All you have done is delay everything by 1 week. In a week's time, he will most certainly attack all, including you.
I don't think he takes no. Well,
so what
in my
happens now?
experience.
We are to sit and wait to die? Like, I thought we were going to deal with this now.
I would like to commend Aminata for the bravery that they showed today. I mean, it can't be overstated that she just spent, like 10, 20 minutes in a room with, no offense, Aminata, extremely dangerous killer. I don't think, I understand, obviously I am not as connected to this as all of you are, but there is, we have a week to wait. That's a week we can prepare. It's a week for Aminata to think about what they actually want to do.
Do you plan on joining? Do you want to become his bride? Is that why you delayed it a week?
It is not that I want to become his bride, Sylvia. You seem to think that this is such an easy decision. I have to consider that he will either kill you all in front of my very eyes and maybe take me regardless.
Yeah, but in a week he will do this anyway. Why would you drag it out?
We have more time to prepare. And
that is a week in which you live, Sylvia. Aminata at that point is just going to like lift up their skirts and say, it's already difficult enough to try and see if there's any way to save those of you who are in my life. And it is, if you would, like, obviously you would probably make the rational decision. You would never think with your heart. And I have letters to write. I have my mother to get in touch with.
You don't know anything about my heart, okay? And
Justine just going to step forward.
My heart is not in question, so...
And like stop in between the two and be like, that's about timing. You already started affecting us. And then she's going to turn to Aminata and say, you're not alone. We're going to figure it out. And we're going to make it right.
Well, I am not alone, but I am surely not feeling supported, might I say. I know I do not know you, Sylvia. I know I do not. I have tried at every
No,
opportunity.
I have.
No,
I said
please let me finish. I've tried at every opportunity to get to know you. Yet you have never let me in. Me making this decision was not easy, but I do not make decisions lightly. This is something that will change the course of my life for the worse, either way in which it goes. I need to know that I am the only potential collateral damage in if anything does happen. That is not an easy decision to make, and I am very tired. I thought that what I did was a good idea. Like Annalise said, thank you for your support in that. I thought giving us a better chance to in which to prepare, that we weren't rushing to make amulets, we weren't rushing to refill mana receptacles, we weren't rushing to face our demise. I thought that could only be a good thing to give us chance to prepare, but clearly I have made the wrong decision yet again in your eyes. So I
no.
will
It's
take my
not a
leave.
case
No.
of what is wrong. I have done stupid things for love. We don't need to talk about the stupid decisions that I have made that have cost me everything. And gotten people killed, and I am certainly not somebody who can stand and judge, because I could sit here and list the terrible decisions that I have made
Well, you did make
in my
quite a good
time.
point of it earlier.
I just, if I am going to die today, or if I am going to die, I would rather, just get it over with and not drag it out. But you would not be the only collateral damage, Aminata. He would kill every single person in Paris if it meant he could get to you. That is unfortunately a fact.
Oh, believe me, he is ruthless. He is a killer, and he feels no shame, and he believes that his kind is at the top of the pecking order, which Anki very much confirmed. If there's any way in which I could better prepare us, that was the only reason I delayed it further. I do not like to ruminate on things unnecessarily, but it was a difficult decision, and you did not agree before, you did not agree immediately after. I am trying to do my best. It is the best that I can do.
You know that what he feels for you, it's not love. You know
What
that,
he
right?
feels for me is obsession, and
I
but
need
I
to
also
possess
know
and, control, and it's not love.
I know that he believes that it is love. I have never been one to tell people what they feel and do not feel, or what they think and do not think. If he says it is love, he's been around for 5 centuries. We cannot even begin to fathom what emotions he must feel at the depth in which he feels them, but that's beside the point. Believes that he believes that I am to be his, and if I can think about it, and if I can make a decision that will mean that I will not lose you all that very same day that I lose my humanity, because he says that I will be changed forever and so thoroughly that any part of my ancestry will not really be a factor. I need to think about this. I need time.
Not to belabor the point, but the choice that Aminata had in there was not one that could be made easily. The options were immediately lose their humanity and get turned into, snatched away and turned into a vampire, to refuse and to immediately be attacked. And I understand that we came here with the understanding that could happen, but all it takes is a freeze, a moment, a second, und we're too slow, and Aminat is dead anyway.
And also, he did have company with him, so
What?
it would not have been an easy fight. He arrived in the form of a bat, and his companion arrived in the form of a crow. I can only assume that it may have been a similar magic to what Sylvia uses to turn the rest of us the rest of you into animals. So the fight would definitely not have gone our way either way if he had an ally that is potentially as old as he is.
It
So-
was said that you all faced a necromancer recently, yeah?
In the catacombs.
I worry that given the circumstance and the things the Baron has said recently, in the eventuality that Aminata did die in that moment, they would be brought back in a unpleasant manner in order to live
Wasn't there
immortal.
thinking about?
Which is why I think, again, perhaps I speak out of my place, we should respect the actions Aminata has taken tonight. We live another week. We have time to not run, but prepare with the understanding of what we're dealing with. We came here with the hope that perhaps he could be reasoned with. Aminata, do you come away with the belief that's still true?
Well, the fact that I persuaded him to give me more time is frankly more than I thought that he would give. He had expected me to make a decision there, and he fully expected me to say yes.
The fact that he
So-
let you live, perhaps he does love you in his own way.
In his
speaks
very
to-
twisted way,
yeah.
yes.
But at least in this way, we have a week for you, Aminata, to think about the conversation and pull out what threads you
process.
can and process. Yeah, either way, that's not a decision you could have made at that moment. It was the deck was loaded against you from the moment you walked in there. Now you can think, okay, you've had a conversation, a frank one, with him exposed, so to speak. Now you have to think about whether the person you met there was someone that you can continue to reason with, or if we need to work something out.
Exactly. It is. For once, I didn't know what to do. I'm. Maybe return to the hotel. I'm struggling to get a breath in.
Of course.
It has been a long. It's. I mean, my God, it's so late. The moon is.
We need a drink after
Practically
that.
over
You
our
need a drink, Aminata.
Yeah.
And we are alive. And personally, I feel horror and dread at the thought of facing him again. So I will take a week.
So,
I know it's not what we were hoping for, but this was probably the best outcome we could have today.
I agree
I
with you.
think.
I agree with you, Aminata. It gives us another week to prepare. Because
The
after
worst coming to worst, a week gives your family plenty of time to get out of the city.
Yes, or I'll have to cook up some other lie to keep them away. And thank you both, Justine, Annalise. Thank you, Gwen. And I understand, Sylvia, that this was not what any of us would have hoped for, but it is what we have. So with tactical minds like yourselves, and we have Tito, maybe there's something we can actually do in which we can get that, in which we can prepare better, or in which I can prepare. I don't know. This is all too much. And
Well, perhaps now we can explore some, and Gwen turns to Josephine, some more arcane ways of perhaps trapping him, stopping him, now that we have time.
Possibly. We should probably continue this discussion in the carriage. I know he did fly, but
Yes,
we do
let's
not
get away
know.
from here and him and go somewhere more cheerful.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
at least. I think, given his breadth of his obsession, he likely will stick to the terms of that agreement. And to be
He-
just be prepared.
He will definitely consider it as him being generous. So, and
Yeah, like
him
you said,
listening
it's
actively.
the well-being of your friends, and I kind of gesture around at the rest of the group, is a pretty fine line. I imagine he understands that if he does act against anyone in the way he did before, he loses any opportunity of having you.
And he did guarantee your safety while I did think about this. So that was one
That
of
is
the.
a weight off.
That was the only condition in which I said I would give him an answer, and if he did not harm any of my loved ones or your loved ones. So, and Annalise, I know we do not know each other well, but you have shown quite clearly that you are a part of us. So,
Aminata, if there's anything that can be said about me, it's when I know to cut and run from a fight I can't win.
yes.
I don't think we can win this one.
Oh, we can.
And-
I think
and-
it just requires
Oh,
some
no.
separation.
Oh, he is. Oh, he is very old and very powerful and quite. He is very used to getting what he wants. He surely does have the arrogance of a baron.
Well, that's not the reason to give up without a fight. If anything, we have more chances to prepare and have more chances to at least make it as painful for him as we can. If
I mean,
it goes
think
fine.
in the day or two that we had, we're back to full capacity and already know more about what he is. And I look over at Sylvia and go, "We got a cool sunlight explosion thing. So, given a week, who knows what we could cook up."
We have done great things in our short journey together, and at least you would not believe, and hopefully in this week we'll be able to at least give you some of those stories. But
Oh, I look around at you all and I see events and excitement and bravery. I have no doubt that I will see much to come.
and Justine, now you have another week for that beautiful big brain of yours to do
Find us a
something.
way to kill him.
Yes, to do something magnificent. For I know it is a lot to ask, but my friend, I am counting on you. You know me more than anyone, and I do not want to lose my humanity, but I cannot let him take my friends.
I know.
So, do you all head back to the hotel? Yes, you have some drinks. You decompress for the
Oh.
evening.
All the drinks.
Yeah,
All of that
We're getting
beer
locked in the
bar.
bar
Empty the
until
bar.
4 in the morning.
You decompress for the evening, and eventually you all head to bed. Okay. Next morning, you wake up, sitting down.
No, we're still alive, thank
Sitting down.
If
for
we wake
breakfast.
up, Aminat is gone.
So next morning, you're waking up. You come down to breakfast. Everybody, give me an awareness roll, please.
Oh,
shit.
no.
Which roll? What do we roll?
Oh, no, he
Awareness.
followed us
Awareness.
home.
Keen eyes.
No.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh.
No.
Does that add my dex as well, or
No,
just the
just
quick
awareness.
Oh,
and
wait,
keen
rather.
eyes.
Okay, right, yeah.
Awareness, keen eyes.
Okay.
Well, you still.
Are you telling me somebody rolled higher than a 6?
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't think.
I got
I don't think.
12.
I don't think. T. I don't think you've ever done a single bad roll in any game I've ever played with you. So
No,
like, I'm betting on
no.
you.
Oh, that is so not
So-
true. Nyakua bundled of you.
So, Justine, what did you get?
I'm not even going to bother saying.
Okay. Go in.
I actually got an 18 altogether.
Hey, there you go.
Okay.
Oh.
Amanada.
I also got an
Look at
18.
this.
Right, Gwyn, Amanada, as you're walking by, you both spot there's some newspapers, like morning newspapers, in the reception, and emblazoned across the headline, Vampire in Paris.
Oh no. He went on a spree. A revenge spree.
So
What does it say?
picking it up, you see accounts that late last night, early this morning, the body of a young woman was fished out of the Seine, and people are saying it was a vampire because she was completely drained of every drop of blood.
Oh.
I don't think we should be waiting a week. Just
Um,
saying, because like
Is this
I
the
think
first?
a lot more people are
This
gonna
is
die.
so. This is the thing. This is the first story you've seen.
he's sending a
Okay.
message.
So
I
This is
yeah.
gonna
I
happen
mean, you know,
every day.
the Baron has been in Paris for some time now. You're not entirely sure how long because you are relatively new back to the city, but you kind of get the impression he's been here a couple of months anyway, somewhere between maybe 3 and 5. You're not entirely sure, and there had been no previous reports of bodies drained of blood being fished out of the rivers.
Yeah.
He is
Aminata, I
So
don't
that's a
think
fucking
he
quick
likes
forward
told
start.
what to do.
he's sending a message. He knows that it's definitely going to be young women from families who will miss them, who will
That is
From
notice
what
that they're gone.
from what you can tell, it appears that this was a young girl actually from the area around where the church was that you met him last night.
oh no.
I think that every single day they are going to be dead.
Oh, absolutely. He is going to do this until I cave.
This
He
is
will do
simple
this.
psychological warfare.
Yeah,
Last
but
night you revealed that you
Okay.
care for the people of Paris. That he and he knows that.
But
these
he's always
women,
known
they're
that.
innocent.
He has always known that I care for the people of Paris. This is intentionally as punishment for making him for daring to make him wait.
Making him wait.
We need to think, and we need to think fast. We need to
Justine is just going to turn to Madame
We may
Gauthier. I
need
assume
to go
she's there.
with our original plans that we had agreed the other night, which was to,
I mean, we have the option. Aminata, you can contact him at any time and say, I've made my decision. We get him out of the castle. We fill him with bullets and magic. It could.
yes,
We have the option, but
there is that. And Justine, what were you saying?
Justine haven't said anything. Justine just turned to Madame Gauthier, and I assume Madame Gauthier is there.
Oh yeah.
And Justine is just going to say, Madame Gauthier, let's have a chat together.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to
Okay.
go into like a separate room, I assume, and just try to brainstorm what we can do. Because Justine figured out that like if it's going to the corpses are going to appear every day, or maybe even more than that. He's clearly angry. He's trying to send a message, so we might have to face him sooner than we expected. So based on the research and based on everything that Justine knows, like consecrated ground doesn't really seem to do anything. Just still keep the holy water and stuff, but the sunlight seems to be the thing.
Yep.
Based on many things, including the fact that he wanted to meet up at night. So he clearly doesn't have any protection against the sunlight, and we don't know what the sunlight does to him, but I think if there is a way to defeat him, that would be exposing him to the sunlight.
Yes.
So yeah, so Madame Gauthier, she turns and says, well, this is not really my area of expertise, but
No.
perhaps, if it was electrical energies of lightning and thunder, that I could do very easily. Radiant energy, that is not quite my specialty, but perhaps with your help, we could maybe create some sort of a device that could trap and store sunlight.
Yes, I have science.
I have all the materials I would need back in my workshop. I think as long as we work there during the daytime, we'll be perfectly fine.
Let's go there. I don't think we have any time to waste.
Okay, let us go. So, Justine and Madame Gauthier had walked outside to have a chat, but they don't come back.
Justine is going to Justine is going to like take a piece of parchment out of somewhere. She probably has like loads of notebooks and loads of stuff, and just like use Anki's as opposed to Pigeon. Sorry, Anki, no offense. And just be like working with Madame Gautier on something.
Oh,
We'll be back.
when Madame Gautier sees you doing that, she instantly casts Moonlit Script and sends a message to Gwyn saying that she and Justine are heading back to her workshop.
Yeah, Justine is rolling her eyes only slightly, so.
Well, Gwen is going to put her arms around Aminata and say, look, I understand. If I were in your position, for the sake of power, I may be tempted myself, but this, I don't think this is worth it. Aminata, please don't become what he is.
Gwen, it's not for the sake of power. It is for the hope that maybe with enough time, maybe I could change him, or
Well, he's had his time.
At least I know that he wouldn't kill you, any of you, if I decided.
You know you wouldn't. You don't know what happens when you become that.
I know I would probably want to stay away from you, to be honest. I don't know what happens. I could see I have a week. He would naturally expect me to have questions so I can make my decision. At least he seems to at least understand that about me. So maybe if I could, I don't want to do this. Believe me, I would love nothing more than to flee Paris and forget this is happening. But if I leave, this is not going to stop until either I come back or he follows us everywhere that we go. He has been around for some time. He seems adamant to get what he wants, and
Aminata, I know that you very much do not want to confront him, but I think that people are going to keep getting killed until you do, until we do. Like, obviously, we are with you, but I think you need to face the fact that we cannot drag this out.
Okay, then what
we could.
Then what can we do? We need to have a solid plan, because he will have backup. He will have someone on his side.
We go with the plans that we had originally, which was to confront him. This is what the plan was last night.
In the interest of making sure you're properly informed, Aminata, the person that Sylvia and I met gets a little green around the gills when you're flying again. A few days ago, mentioned that something that sort of reveals something that the Baron said to you as untrue. He told you that your personality would not change. As far as we have been told, there's some truth to that, but it seems that people who take on this affliction have the extremes of their personality brought further out.
Do you remember when Dubois was bitten by the werewolf and became more animalistic and, he became more himself in a bad way? It would be like that, but worse, probably.
And I don't mention this to you under the impression that you are considering going through with this, which if you are, that's a different conversation. I mention it merely so that you are informed of both the reaction that it would have in you and also of what it has made him.
Yes, I understand that this will, as yourself and Sylvia said, after your meeting with the lady Moraine, if I can only hope that if that is something that would affect me, that I would at least still keep the feelings that I have for the people that I love, the protectiveness that I have for Paris, and it would not turn me into some blood-crazed monster. If it does amplify my personality, Yes, of course, like any other person, I have advice. I love secrets. We all know this. But if that is something that will get
I
worse, I don't.
I fear that we must acknowledge that what the Baron is doing right now is, in his own eyes, an action of care and protection.
Yes.
And
If-
He's not
attention.
hurting us, but he is going after innocent. And
If
honestly,
those
that bothers me a lot more than if he was attacking.
if those qualities of care for your friends and Paris were enhanced, yeah, it could potentially make you a great guardian, a bold, immortal protector of the Parisian streets, but it could make you the Baron on the scale of Paris as a whole.
That is true. I will. The only thing I could say is I will need to tell him that I've made a decision early and that I know that he is manipulating me into quick hastening my hand in this, and that I will meet him either tonight, even. I cannot see another headline like that.
Then it's
Nada,
tonight.
please don't leave us for him. I couldn't see you become something like him.
I don't
Your
want to
nature.
be anything like him, but he will kill you. For all I know, he will turn you.
Either you kill us or, all of the people in Paris first, like, he knows that he has no qualms about murder, he almost killed Gwyn and Madame Gautier, and now because you have insisted on taking a week to think about this, he has now murdered an innocent girl, and this is going to happen until he is confronted.
I know, Sylvia, that this is going to happen. I did say as soon as I saw it that this is his retaliation. I am not naive I know what he's trying to do. He is trying to make me answer him more quickly, but I know for a fact that if I say no to him,
So we have to kill him or die in the process.
I mean,
that is, we try to kill him and we fail or we succeed.
I hate to employ while I may not have been intended to hold the position, I was a leader at one point. There's going to be blood.
Sylvia gives you a look.
Yes.
I look at Sylvia and Soldat, you have to understand. And I know you do understand. There will be blood here.
Yes,
do you
I
need
know.
more time to consider? If you do not consider the blood. I understand, and I know that it is not easy to have that weight upon your shoulders. Trust me, I know. Regardless of what you do here, there will be blood. If you need more time to consider, to prepare, then that is a weight that we shall carry together. You do not need to feel hastened into a decision because he is trying to hasten you into one. The blood will spill no matter what. If you need the time, take the time. You have worked for it.
The officer is not giving a shit about innocent civilian collateral damage.
It's crazy.
Sylvia's just going to kind of look at collateral damage, yeah?
Such things are common in times of war, so that.
Oh, yeah, I know. And the officers, it is a means to an end.
Well, we know there will be collateral damage either way. It will either be me, or it will be all of you and then me, or it will be a mixture of you, me, all of Paris. There is.
But the people of Paris are dying now because of the Baron, not because of you, because of the Baron.
Well, they're dying
that
because
has been true for 500 years.
They are dying because I am making a man of his station. Wait, it is because of me. yes, it is not me who is taking their lives, but it is my actions that have caused this. I
Aminata,
thought that
he would do it anyway.
yes, he would, but he
It's
was,
not your fault.
well, I guess he was doing it before. He said that
Mm.
it's very like that someone like one of his
He is
kind
trying
would
to
need to kill.
manipulate you by making it so public.
Of course, the knowledge of that doesn't make it easier.
No, but
You have to
don't let
decide,
it sway
and it's
you.
not an easy decision, but you have to decide. You have 6 days from now, at the very least, 6 more bodies show up. They
Don't
might be
rush.
people you know, they might not. People will die anyway. He has to feed to live.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, he is feeding to make a point.
Yes.
If you cannot abide that, I can imagine I only speak for everyone here, then we are happy to act as soon as you are ready. If you are not ready, take the time. The lives might weigh heavy on you. They might stay with you for a long time. They might haunt you in your dreams. But the cost of time is sometimes in blood. And if you need the time, that is what it is.
I I understand both of your points, Annalise, Sylvia, Gwen. I don't want to make a rash decision to join him out of fear, but also there are people being harmed, and that goes against my very nature to let this continue. And already I have blood on my hands. I don't know if I can handle even more. It's
Then we act. It is simple as that.
okay.
Can you abide by another life being lost? Yes or no?
No.
Then we act. Done. Simple.
Okay.
There will no longer be need for deliberation. We have hours today to prepare. You send the message, we get him there, we put him in the ground once and for all.
Or we die in the process.
Or we die in the process, at which point, not our problem anymore.
Okay. I will
We pay
reach
the price, and the price is blood.
I will reach out to him.
So,
If you excuse me.
you having heard that, so she's saying that you all hear a voice, a very familiar voice, coming up from behind you saying, "So Madame Gauthier said you needed some help. Who is dying? Who are we killing?" And looking up, you see a short, green-haired young woman, looking somewhat different than the last time you saw her. A quite vicious scar across the left side of her face, and her left eye milky white. But your dear friend Mina is standing there, looking at you all, and I think that is a perfect place to pause your story.
Yee! Oh my god.
She lives an eye. Oh my god, no.
Thank you all for joining us. Maybe next week we'll see what happens with the Baron, but should be interesting. And I'm delighted to say that unless we are cursed by the tech gods again, we should be getting reunited with our beloved friend Christina, coming back to the game and playing Mina. So until then, see you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Good night, all. Bye.
Bye, 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 bye.
Bye.